Stupid thing. There we go. Now we should be good to go. Asher Little down there on the inside here. We're coming for it. Here we'll take another quick look because they're still qualifying here. We got the Memorial Day special here today for the Roughneck Racing. Why does that say James? What the heck going on here? There we go. So there we see 104 degrees is your track temperature, 78 degrees is your ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy with 2-mile-an-hour winds. And as these guys finish up qualifying here, we got 10 minutes here qualifying. Please rise tonight for the national anthem as we honor those here this Memorial Day. Qualifying still going underway here from the speedway. And the drivers get back at it. Here you see the number 8 there, otherwise known as the 3 there on the scoreboard. That's Minstrada with a 54.92. You got Nagels out front in that number 7 with a 54.90. Maines there in the second spot with that number 30. Here we're looking at that 00. Michael Barksdale currently sitting in fifth, running down here through off the front stretch. You got that big red sponsored machine. White gray down on the bottom side. Not sure if he's coming in or out on his out lap. Looks like he's coming out. He's down there along, coming out of turn number 2, up there along the outside edge. Taking the time to get that car up to speed. Nathan Harper now getting that car up there on the top of the leaderboard with a 54.89 as he comes there out of 2 once again. Got ourselves a great field of drivers here tonight. Not sure exactly how many there are, as we got 18 that have qualified so far. I want to say there's around 34 to 35 drivers ready to go for this 60 laps. I'm pretty sure it's 60 laps. I thought that's what I saw. Now you see Harper coming back in. You got Arsenwath, he's getting up there in second place with a 54.90. Nagels with a 54.90. So that's coming down to the split. And I'm not sure what that third number really is there for Arsenwath and Nagels. Joe out there on track. And that Wonder Bread machine at number 1. Down there on the bottom side as he rolls there through. See where he stacks up. Sitting there in 5th right now. Daniel Falkingham at 88. He's going to be number 26 on your scoreboard. Christopher Carter into number 31. Head on down here in the corner number 1. Up there, sliding it up towards that outside wall, trying to keep the momentum up as high as he can. He runs here off a 2. Back out onto that backstretch. A 31 there. Carter's going to be in about 16th position. Wyatt Gray out here. He's got it up to speed now as he's coming there out of turn number 4. Down there against that stripe, coming across. And his time's going to be down there in 23rd spot. He moves himself up there into 5th. So 5th time slot there with a 54.91 for Wyatt Gray. Ethan Eckert here in the 24 spot as it stands as he rolls here through 1 and 2. As they work through off the backstretch in the corner number 3. Ethan Eckert here in that number 12 machine. What's he going to do here? And comes here off of 4. Only about 3 minutes of qualifying left to go. So, and I don't have the speakers on. My bad there. Sorry that we didn't have any sound from the cars. We got them now, though. Down there across on the speedway. Hopefully I got everything else working here. It looks like I do. They're up there across the top of the speedway. Eckert's there going to be in 10th with a 54.92. And look how close them top drivers are. Kyler Wynn in that number 2 machine. He just comes out there and he lays down a blistering 5.489. Gets ahead of Harper and takes a tumble here in through turn number 1. John Darnell just out there kind of passing some time. He's kind of here in 26th spot at the moment. He comes across. Let's see where he comes across. Moves himself up into 19th position. Freddie Bassanez up here in 27th right now, coming onto the track. Really like that old school vibe there on that machine. As head down here in the corner number 3. Freddie Bassanez up there against that outside wall. Minute 50 left in qualifying, so some of these drivers may not choose to qualify. They're just going to take what they have, starting there in the back. Likes of Chris Melton, Dylan Jones, Daniel Ebenhart, Steven Scott. They come there off of the trial down through the front stretch. Freddie Bassanez currently sitting 27th. Got to see if he can gain some time here. He's going to hug that yellow line now. Coming there off the back stretch. here on this Memorial Day. Center lane, keeping it straight, nice and smooth. Down here towards corner number 3. Minute left. I roll on down the bottom here, heading out of turn number 3 into 4, and now out onto the tri-oval of the front stretch. Up here, coming through the restart zone, heading there towards the stripe. And he's down there along the bottom side. He's going to lay down a time that's going to move himself up there in the 5th position with a 54.91. And just take a gander at the leaderboard as you got Wynn up there in first with a 54.89. Harper with a 54.89. Austin-Wath with a 54.90. Nagels with a 54.90. Bassinez with a 54.91. Vasquez with a 54.91. Gray with a 54.91. Coretta with a 54.91. Maines with a 54.92. Mistrada with a 54.92. And that's all just in the top 10. They're just separated by such a little bit. And we could go even more than that, the way they got these guys split down through the racetrack. But here, we're going to get with the starting grid now for tonight's show. Starting on pole, that's going to be Kyler Wynn with Nathan Harper starting to his outside there on row number 1. Row number 2, that's going to be Trevor Austin-Wath there in second. To his outside is Cody Nagels. Freddie Bassinez inside row number 3, starting in 5th with Aaron Vasquez there in 6th. I don't know if I'm saying that name there correctly or not. So, sorry about that, Aaron, if I'm saying that wrong. Wyatt Gray there in 7th. Inside row number 4 with Joe Hirata there to his outside. Garrett Maines there in 9th with Chase Mistrada there in 10th. Kenny Reel in 11th with Ethan Eckert starting in 12th. That's outside row number 6. Row number 7, that's going to be Michael Barksdale down on the inside, starting in 13th and at 00 for Barksdale Motorsports. And his outside in 14th position, outside row number 7, that's going to be Sean Corbett there in the 14th position. Next row back in the 8th row, Jared Haynes in 15th position. That's inside. It was outside in 16th as Mark Vondell from McAuliffe Motorsports. And row number 9, that's going to be Asher Little on the inside in 17th position, driving at number 13 tonight. Daniel Falkingham at the outside in position number 18. And on to row number 10, that's Brooke Westmoreland there in 19th position for Team PGR, with Roughneck Racing's own John Darnell out there to his outside in 20th. So Brock there down on the inside. You got John Darnell on the outside of row number 10. Inside row number 11 is going to be Christopher Carter in that 21st position. To his outside in 22nd, driving at number 9, is going to be Luke Freeman. On the inside there of row number 8, row number 12. Row number 12, that's going to be Quentin Steinbrook there in 23rd, with Danny Barnez there in 24th. And 25th tonight, that's inside row number 13, is going to be Michael Wingo in that 25th position. Driving car number 25, Justin Johnston out there on his outside in 26th position. And then inside row number 14, that's going to be Jordan Tasby in that 27th position in that car number 94. Dylan Jones rolls off tonight in 28th, outside row number 14 and 15. In the 15th row inside, that's going to be Daniel Eberhardt driving at number 90, pulling off in 29th position. It was outside is Joseph McAuliffe for McAuliffe Motorsports, driving at number 5 here in that 30th position. Row number 16 is Chris Melton, starting on the inside in position number 31. Christopher McAuliffe in position number 32. That'll be to the outside of row number 16. Row number 17 is going to be Tucker McClendon. There in 33rd. Outside of that row is going to be Kenneth McCullough Jr. starting 34th. Starting 35th here tonight. So a total of 35 cars. We're going to shoot it out. And Stephen Scott back there rounding out your field. So now these cars towards the back of the pack, most of them chose not to qualify. And we're going to run into an issue here of cars not showing up here on screen. I wish I knew how to fix that issue. So sorry for the folks in the back. You might not see yourselves blink in here for some odd reason. I don't know why. So don't pay attention, drivers, or viewers. If you're watching, we got more cars out there than what's showing up, and I got to figure that one out on how to adjust that. Now, we got a total of 35 cars out there, but I'm only showing the top few cars here. They come out of the corner, down into corner number 1 and 2. Well, wait a moment here. We want lap. We got 65, and we already got one down in the grass. He's going to try to hang on to it. That is Trevor Rosenwald down there on the inside, and look out. Here comes that number 90 rolling on by. Whoa, 4 wide here. They come there off the backstretch as the driver's there in the back trying to get around, and you got the 88 already having issues there as he's missing the nose of that machine. Not sure what happened there to the 88, trying to remember who that is. As we see more cars back here, you got the 94 to Jordan Tasby up there in that Hot Wheels machine, rolling down the backstretch. Back up here towards the front, everybody's trying to battle it out. Here on lap number 2, going 3 wide there, battling it out down here in the corner number 1. Okay, now we're getting closer. I'm looking for that number. I'm looking for that 88 machine. Now, that's the 59 of Mark Wandell. There's the 20. That's who we're looking for. Daniel Falkingham is out there and already is missing the nose of that race car. I'm sure exactly what happened to him, to why he's missing the nose of that machine already here early on. But he's battling pretty good here. He's currently sitting there in 8th as they head on down through here off the corner. 3 wide there. You got one in the sucker hole. That's the 99 or so. 93. There you see the Wonder Bread machine. You got the 31 up there on the top side as well. Everybody's single or double file now. Whoa, hang on to it as John Hirata takes it to the outside. He's going to make it 3 wide, bringing with him the number 8 there. And again, I'm sorry if I don't have all the drivers figured out here, as some of the numbers don't match on the scoreboard. So I'm trying to do my best here as we roll off. And we got the number 1 there of Joe Hirata with Garrett Menez there in the number 30. Trying to figure out which one he is. Garrett Maines up there on the outside row. And I think he's the other number 1 there. Freddie Bassanez in the number 48 down there on the inside as they work along here. Now we're going 3 wide here, working through turn number 2. Back out onto the backstretch, moving up to the inner lane. Now up to the outside lane. Goes the leader of Kyler Wynn as they work down through the backstretch. Freddie Bassanez working himself up through here. There you see the 8 there, working down there to the inside, the 88 as well. Daniel Falkingham, he's going to work up down there. He's losing some ground, though. He needs to try to stay tucked up to somebody to try to get some of that draft. Otherwise, he's going to lose draft in a hurry off of that 88 machine. Working down here in the corner number 1. Oh, no, 4 wide. Hang on to it, squeezing it. The 88 there really, whoa, boy. Got him 4 wide now down the front stretch. There is, you got 31 there in among, or the Wonder Bread machine. Hang on to it. Look out. As Wonder Bread's up here, let's not try to squeeze another car, guys. Give some room. Here coming off the corner. Wow, are they running hard. 4 wide. Back down through the back stretch. 3 wide up there towards the front as they all come storming down through here. They get it settled all back out. What racing is going on here? Here you see some of the guys towards the back. And we got them going on here. You see Daniel Falkingham, he's trying to get himself back up there towards the front. He's currently sitting there in 6th, rolling down through there. And don't pay attention to those drivers that say they're out. They are not out. I got tabs on them back here. If there's a certain driver you're looking for, let us know. And we'll try to get them on camera. Yeah, I know, Heath. I know all the cars aren't there. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on here and why they're not. I got a good portion of them. But it's just like it's cutting off here and there. And pardon me a moment here. I'm going to see one thing here. So now we try to get it to draw them all, and it's just being temperamental here tonight. Now we got them battling up here towards the front. You'll see some come in, come out of frame. I don't understand why. It's set to all cars. I don't understand why. And we got a caution coming out as we got them up there towards the front. And lost them there, so this is going to be interesting to see what we can gather there as you see them back here towards the back. Spun around there. Let's see here. See if we can figure out what exactly happened. All right, you. All right, here we got the number 31, Christopher Carter. We know he was involved as he comes and gets caught coming up the racetrack, ends up into the 2. And you'll see cars kind of disappear there for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. And we got smoke everywhere. Trying to see what cars come into this. Oh, this is frustrating. Oh, man, oh, man. Thank you all for tuning in as we're still trying to get things worked out here. I'm not sure exactly what went on there tonight. Why it's not showing them all like it needs to be. And we got a few of them down there on the inside there. You see the 3. Sean Corbett there in the 45, so that puts the 28 here on the scoreboard. Brooke Westmoreland there in the 3. Drivers coming to pit road here at lap number 8. Under caution for the first time tonight. Trying to figure out where pit stop box is. Yeah, don't pay attention there. If you see a driver marked out, it is not out. They are here. I do reassure you, they are here. For instance, we'll take a look at Christopher McAuliffe back here towards the back. If I can get him to come up here. Okay, Christopher Carter might be out. I see Joseph Darnell there. Asher Little back here. Nick Simple coming in. Nick Simple showing as out. Asher Little showing as out at the moment. See, and then there's Wingo. We know, I'm pretty positive Wingo is here. There's Wingo. So Wingo's not out. Chris Carter going and putting in the chat that he's got 4 mysterious drivers coming in the future to handle some of the stuff. So I don't know. It could get interesting in the future. So Chris Carter, I believe, is confirmed out of this race. Dylan Jones, Whit and Steinbrook. Yeah, there's Dylan Jones sitting on pit road. Driver, they're trying to get caught up. Lights are out on the pace car, so they better hurry up. I think I know what the issue is here for my stream, but I'm just not sure how to come up with the funding for it. Probably a new graphics card would go a long way. Down here in the corner number 3. Here we go. We're on lap number 10. We're going to go green flag with lap number 11 coming on the board. 65 laps is the distance here tonight. Here we go, getting ready to go. Kenny Reel out there in fifth. Kyler Wind there. For some reason, I'm only showing the top 8 cars, but I know they're back here. As you can see as we move back through, it's only showing so many cars on the track. Why? And we got underway. Now we're getting more cars to show up. More cars disappearing, more cars show up. Now they come back. Whoa, hang on to it here as they come down the backstretch. Side by side, here comes that 8 down there on the inside of, I believe, is that Kenny Reel? Well, Kenny Reel's there. Oh, hang on to it, look out. Here comes that number 1, Joe Curata there in the middle. Coming up through, trying to figure out where these cars are at as we're just struggling getting them all to show up here. Something just does not seem to be right as we come there off the corner. As they got them coming down through there, hang on to it. All right, here we go. Now, see if we can get, there we go. Now we're at more cars. Oh, man. Come back here. Pace car coming out. Caution flag is out. We have cars all over the place. Chase Pastrana entering pit lane. We missed this wreck. Okay, so we know there was a big accident that happened. I don't have any marks here to tell me exactly who was involved or anything. Now we try to gather up where drivers are at. Trevor Arsenwath back here in 30th now. Freddie Bassinez. He's got a blinking light on that car. Let's see if we can get... that possibly be why. That car is broken at the moment for Freddie Bassinez. Second caution. Short compression brake. We'll be back in a moment.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, here we are back at the racetrack. Michael Wingo staying out. Everybody else chose to come in for the pit stop. Working here off the corner. Good evening, Infinite Frost. Everybody coming out of pits and getting lined back up. Now, as we said before, don't pay attention there. There's something there towards the bottom of the thing there they're showing in pits. So hopefully we got it drawn out a little better. So Carter is out. Quentin Steinbrook, I believe, is out. Same with Asher Little. So it looks like we got them drawn out now a little better. Here you see Danny Barnez back here towards the back, rolling there through turns 1 and 2. Rolling on through here. Justin Johnson out there in the number 13 tonight. Could be running at number 82. Down here through the backstretch. Lights are off. We're going to go green flag racing next time across the stripe. So look for Fred to pull that machine down there on the pit lane and Barney grab a hold of that green flag to get us back to green flag racing. And it's been exciting so far. Just unfortunately, you know, some camera issues here and not capturing the events as well as we'd like for these caution flags. And kept rolling off here off of turn number 2. I'm sorry, turn number 3 now. Heading into 4. There we go. Pace car is being pulled to the apron. We got that Burger King sponsored machine up there on the outside at number 93. There you got that number 25, Michael Wingo down there on the inside. Getting ready for the restart. Here we go. Through the tri-oval. Green flag. Back in the air. We're down and away. Here we go. Off into turn number 1 again. As that bottom lane starts to get up there and rolling better this time. Here down on the inside. You got that 3 there in that bottom position, second place. That's Joe Curetta up there on the outside in that yonder car. And they start to go 3 wide once again. Not sure who's the meat of the sandwich yet. As it looks like Chase Mastrada. He's going to try to get that number 2 working down there on the bottom side. Hopefully I got that car right, or is he the number 8? Oh, boy. We'll figure it out here. He's the number 8 machine up there on the top side. I'm going to... It's so hard to tell sometimes. Whoa, hang on to it there. You see the 12 of Ethan Eckert drop down in front of the 3. I'm not sure who it is there. You see a bunch of cars trying to battle their way through as we got them coming through turns 1 and 2. Drivers towards the back. You got Tucker McClellan. There's Nathan Epperhart up here in 3rd. McCullough Jr. back here in about 18th. Garrett Maines back here, sitting in about 19th position in that number 30. He's driving that blue number 1 out there. Come back here to the front stretch. Cody Nagel's out front. Or, no, sorry, Joe Hirata out front, that number 1. Now you see these drivers trying to get down through here. In through the tri-oval down in towards corner number 1. In through 2, out back onto that backstretch. 18 of the 65 complete. Or, sorry, on the board right now is lap number 18. We got 17 complete here. Everybody works down through the backstretch. Looking real good so far as we've got that number 11 down there in the middle. Here they come there off the back. In through 3 and in the 4. 3 wide now, many rows deep as they come there through off the front stretch. Which lane do you want? And they come through the tri-oval. What a beautiful picture that is as they come to the stripe down here across and down in the corner number 1. Hang on, and they're getting loose. And they hang on to it. What a save there in the middle of the pack. Now you see that 45 up there to the outside. There's the number 3. Rather the 8 of Chase Mastrada. He did a great job of being on the wheel of that thing, getting it straightened out, keeping it green flag. What some race moves that was. Everybody now gets it back under control down here in the corner number 3 and 4 once again. Now they're heading back out here towards the tri-oval, up there against that outside wall. We're going to hang on to it better this time. Here you see them coming down through. McCullough up there in 8th position. He's up 22 spots. Wingo's up 22 spots as he's up there in 3rd right now, driving at number 25. And, oh, no, around goes yonder car, Joe Hirata, and takes out a bunch of cars there with him. And we got cars everywhere, scattered every which way. We saw that one there, folks. We're going to be able to get this replay. They take yellow flag here at lap number 20. Thank you all for tuning in to Figure Farm TV on the pole here tonight. Here you see that yonder car up there on the outside just comes up across the nose of the 11, ends up getting touched up into the outside wall, and then 11 just gets into the back corner, and then there he goes around. And at that point, he's along for the ride. The outside lane all checks up, nowhere to go. The 8 or the 93 involved, he's going to get down there to the inside. He's going to clip the 17, but the 17 keeps rolling as if nothing happened. Now you see that one keep continuing to spin. You got the 11 there. He's going to spin as well. That is the 11 of Kenny Reel. The 00 locking up, trying to get on through there. There comes the 18. I can't remember who that is. Daniel Falkingham out front right now. Tough break here for these drivers. Caution number 3 on the scoreboard. It gets all sorted out. Not sure why it's... There we go. Figure out. They're all here. As scoreboard figures out who's here, who's not here. On board with Ethan Eckert. As that Eckert comes in. I'm not sure what that yellow light is in the car yet. Jordan Tasby coming here. Ethan Eckert stayed out, or no, Ethan Eckert's in. Daniel Falkingham coming in. Now he's coming out. Topping off on fuel, I would think. So it looks like everybody came in. It looks like Joshua McCullough is there in the 5 right in front of him. Trying to see who that is. I think that's Dylan Jones. That's Dylan Jones there at a number 34. Blowing up at the moment, sitting there on pit road. There you see him getting back behind the pace machine. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the racing so far here at On the Pole, brought to you by Figure Farm TV, James Wagner Welding, and the like as we head on down through here. Where is my sponsors? I want to thank, shout out to Track Cams for such nice pictures here. I had to figure out how to render more cars on the track at one time. Well, it looks like a lot of them are in the pits right now. And come across the front stretch. Got Tasby there in 12th. Tyler Wynn there in 29, or in the 29 in 13th. Eberhardt's in the pits. Christopher McCullough in the pits. They come here off the back or off the front stretch. Lights are out. They're doubling up. We're going to get back. Green flag racing here shortly from Talladega, running the ARCA cars. Jared Haynes up there in 5th position right now on the bottom side. Running at number 7 down there on the bottom side. The Jack Shack. I'm looking at the correct car. Working down through the backstretch. Everybody's doubling up, ready to go back green flag racing. We're not even halfway yet. Down here in the corner, number 3, coming back around towards the front stretch. Sean Corbett, Mark Wandell, sitting there in the 59 machine up there on the high side above the 45, Sean Corbett. Down here in the corner number 1, Daniel Polkingham doing a great job currently out front. Here comes Chase Pastrana, though, down there on the inside, up there to the outside. Got to check that lane up. As you got them all storming down through the backstretch now. Heading towards turn number 3 here at lap number 24. Caution flag back out. See if we can find out what happened here. I'm not seeing anything. Well, let's see if there was something with this car of Jordan Tasby. I'm unsure, though. I might get lucky. I don't know. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, there it is. We got lucky. We found it. There they go skidding across. And blinked out. So there was a caution. Tasby involved. So that'd be the cause of the caution. It's Memorial Day. Everybody trying to complete this lap. As they head on down through here. We see at number 16 of Tucker McClendon. They all tore up there. Trying to get it in the box. Trying to get it to click in for repairs. Now we got Daniel Polkingham back out front as the race leader. Got one of the lap down cars up there in the front of the pack. That's the number 7 there. Not sure who that is right off the top. All right, it's Danny Barnez out there in that number 7. Number 19 on the scoreboard. These drivers go on through here trying to figure out where best to try to find a line. Which line's going to work best for them. Working down through here off that front stretch. Lights still on the pace machine. Chase Pastrana out there in 3rd. Bounce between 3rd and 4th. Drivers are starting to get side by side, so we're going to go and get it to where the lights are out on the pace car this time. Looks like the lights are out on that pace machine. And yes, I can confirm they are out. We're going to be going back green flag racing here at lap number 28. There we go. Green flag underway here once again, coming across towards the stripe here for the Money Madness race tonight, this Memorial Day night. Good evening there. All right, out front you got Daniel Falkingham out there sitting about 4th down there on the bottom side. Everybody's scattering here as they work through the tri-oval down in the corner number 1. I'm sorry, down through the tri-oval, heading towards turn number 1. Coming across the stripe, that outside lane got quite the run with Ethan Eckert running out there in the top lane as they roll down here through off in the 2. Look out, here comes that 5 of, or I'm sorry, no, that's the 30 of Garrett Maines down there on the inside. As they leave that in middle lane wide open for anybody to try something down there. Mistrada tried to move up. He's going to end up getting bottlenecked there. He's going to fall back a little bit as that inside lane now gets to run. Bringing with it Garrett Menez, Daniel Falkingham. They all jump up to the outside lane. And here comes Kyler Wynn back there in about third position in that number 2 machine. Chase Mistrada there in that 8 as they work down here across the stripe. Got Trevor Arsenwath down there in the middle lane right now as they try to work on down through. And hang on to it, giving a push there to Brock Westmoreland. Ethan Eckert rolling down there. Oh, hang on to it there. We got him shifting lanes all over the place. There towards the back, middle back of the pack. As you see Aaron back there. Nathan Harper back here as well. Everybody just changing lanes wherever, trying to figure something out. Got Kenneth McCullough back here towards the back in the number 17 Coca-Cola machine. Keep on rolling through. Chase Mistrada out front. Garrett Maines out front as your leader. Daniel Falkingham there in second as we see him right there on the bumper. Coming off of turn number 2 down that backstretch. A little bit of wall ride there from somebody as they caught the wall. Coming out of turn number 2 down that backstretch at center lane. All wide open right now as they all come storming down through there. In the corner number 3 and 4. You see Daniel Falkingham up there in that middle lane trying to get something to happen. Apparently that's the outside lane that's trying to get something to work with. Now we got Arsenwath now up. Oh no! And he gets loose in front of the entire field. He's going to end up catching that outside wall. Caution flag is out here at lap number 32. I think he's the only one involved besides that number 12 machine. Ethan Eckert. There you see him. They just kind of get sandwiched there. Falkingham goes up there to the outside, barely misses it himself. Then Ethan Eckert ends up involved there in that number 12. They get straightened out, though. Great job by heads-up driving there by everybody behind him to drop down there to the bottom. As they keep going here, back under caution for what? Fourth time? Fifth time. Drivers waiting on that pace car to get caught up. There we go. Fred finally getting to the front of the pack. There, we got a bunch of them coming in the pit. Got to figure out how they come out of the pits now. Got Jordan Tasby down here in a 94 Hot Wheels machine. There and there to 93 Burger King. Mark Wandell. Got 00 back here, Michael Barksdale. Trevor Arsenwath back on pit road. Cody Nagels on pit road, still trying to get back out here. Wyatt Gray now here towards the front of the pack, if it works out that way. I can understand the frustration there, Carter, but for me here in the broadcast booth, this is about normal for Talladega. People just try to push too soon, too early, and make moves that aren't quite there. Everybody comes around here still under caution. We got one more lap here at least under caution, or two more laps I should say, under caution. Should go green at lap number 35. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. They're going green. Yeah, lap number 35. Working here off the back, or working on to the back, I should say. Yeah, that's about right there, Matsko. I'd rather broadcast than be on the track. That's my feeling. They head on down here in the corner number 3 and 4, getting ready for the restart here. Just over halfway now. So, if anybody watches on the pole in other races, our average is about 7 cautions. 7 or 8 cautions is our average. I'd like to see us not hit that average, but that seems to be our average here out on the pole, especially at super speedways. Now, we have gone more than that, and we've gone without cautions, but that's the happy medium number, if you want to say, for cautions here on the pole. Seems to be about an average of 8. And we head on down through off the corner. You see that 18 of Wyatt Gray jump to the outside, getting up there in front of Daniel Falkingham as they come down here in the corner number 1. Up there on that high side, you got that 3/8 of Chase Mastrada down there on the inside. Hang on to it, as it takes a lot here to get when you're getting pushed around. I don't know if FMA brings that down quite yet, Chase. We're working on it. We're working on it. And they come here through 3 and 4. Up there on the high side, Wyatt Gray up there along, rolling that on through. Down through the front stretch here. Daniel Falkingham in second. Got the 45 there as Sean Corbett there in third. Kyler Wynn. Down there on the bottom side now goes Gray. As they work here off the corner, down the backstretch. Gray has a pretty good lead at the moment as they all kind of scatter out. Caution back out. See if we can find out what happened to this one. Maybe Michael Barksdale. We're at caution number 6 on the board. And you see that outside lane just checks up. Ends up getting a push from behind. You see the 8, there you see the 17, and then there's the 7, giving the turn to Michael Barksdale, sliding it on down through Yeah, he spins it right on down through the infield there, coming across the start-finish line. So, here we go. 6 caution on the board. Anybody know where I can find a good stiff drink here at this racetrack? This one's a long one. That's all right. We have fun here in the booth just as much as some of these drivers are getting, I'm sure, a little hot under the collar down there on track. So it seems like for me, I have the fun up here in the booth as the drivers have the aggravation down on the racetrack. That's just my opinion now. Everybody coming back to pit lane, topping off on fuel. Yeah, I know I could go over there. I got someplace closer to Chase. There's a bar right across in walking distance of my house. Go up my front door and go about, I don't know, maybe 500 yards, and yeah, I'm in the door of the establishment. All right, who's it gonna be now? As we got that 25 with Sean Corbett out there, you got Kyler Wynn now with the showing here as the leader. You got that one who's a lap down. That's Joe Coretta showing a lap down there behind the pace car, so he should get the wave around when we get to 1 to go. Looks like Uretta's trying to become the pace car. There's a few drivers that are out of this one now. Started with a field of 35, and I think we're down. Is McClendon in here? No, I'm not seeing Freeman. Freddie Bassinez. Yeah. So a few drivers are done. I don't know if that scoreboard's correct on who's in and who's out. I can't really guarantee that. I want to say it's accurate, but I don't know. Because by looking at it, it looks like we have McLean, who is down in 29th spot, is the first car out of the race. And that very well could be true. As there we see Joe Coretta taking his lap back as he was up there against the pace car. Lights are out, going to be going back. Green flag racing here at lap number 40. That'll be 25 to go. Lights are out. Fred's going to pull that down there onto the apron. Green flag's out. They're down and away. Win out front with Brock there in second. Sean Corbett there in third as they come down there through the front stretch. Down into corner number 1 to go. There you see that number 10 of Christopher McCullough down there on the bottom side leading that lane. But that outside lane, once again, getting a great run here on the restart. As you're looking there at 28 of Brock Westmoreland as he is running that number 3, Sean Corbett there in the third spot. You got Chase Mastrada now jumping down there to the inside in front of Christopher McCullough. They try to head on down here off the corner. Everybody hanging up in the 12. If you remember, Ethan Eckert, he had issues getting caught up in the one accident. He's now back up here towards the front, battling his way up here towards the front. And look out, here comes the 5 of Joshua McCullough, as he's there in the middle lane now, trying to battle his way up through. And no, McCullough ends up turning the 45 up there into the outside lane, and carnage everywhere. Buckingham gets through it. Carnage everywhere with that one. I see the 17 of Kenneth McCullough involved, Joshua McCullough involved. There you see the checkup happening there by the 45. Getting turned by the 5 down there into the 93. And then it just all downhill from there. As the 17 has nowhere to go, up the racetrack into the 32. Spinning that around there, you see the whole track just becomes a bottleneck. Drivers just trying to find a way through. I'm not sure. We'll see here. We can find out how this all went on. I thought this happened right in front of me. There you see it all check up. There you see, there's a bunch of carnage. Christopher McCullough sitting in fourth. Dropping back as they come down through pit road. There you see John Darnell. He's coming there on pit road, trying to figure out where everybody's at here. Justin Johnson in that number 82. Kind of biding his time, sitting in 15th, slowly moving up through. He comes around. He stays out. So Justin Johnson, 23 laps to go. Got to hand the spot over to somebody. Trying to figure how this plays out. It looks like Justin Johnson's back there in about fourth, maybe fifth. You got that one of Joe Hirata out there Coretta out there in front once again, trying to take advantage of being behind a pace car. Now you got Kyler Wynn down there on the apron. Chase Pastrana there in second. Ethan Eckert there in fourth. Brock Westmoreland down there on the apron, trying to save some fuel. Not sure where Justin Johnson's sitting there in the 82, so he's back up there in the fourth now. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out here. Everybody comes up there towards the front. 23 laps to go. So going to go green flag, maybe about 21 to go. That's wonderful Memorial Day. Lights go out. There you see Joe going around. Yeah, some drivers are just like that, Heath. Heck, there's some drivers out there, I think they can wreck with just 2 cars on the racetrack. All right, here we go. Fred's going to get that car and pull it down onto the inside. We're going to go green flag racing. 21 laps to go. When they come across the stripe, there you see we're at the 7th caution. But I don't think it's the final caution. Green flag underway as they come here to the stripe. Kyler Wynn trying to get the best that he can as they already get up there real tight, trying to get up into that outside lane to try to not lose momentum. Now, I did see, I could find that 17 of Kenneth McCullough. He's out there without a front bumper on that machine. We saw that a little bit ago when the race first started out of the 88 Falkingham. So they're going, oh, man, look at that craziness coming down that back straightaway. 3 wide, almost 4 wide in places. There you see it. As the 7 drops down there, Cody Nagels down to the inside. John Arnell in that number 99 down there on the bottom side. Ethan Eckert out front. And down in the corner, number 1. 21 laps to go, 20 laps to go now, as they are all up on the top side at the moment, trying to figure out when the best time is to set up a pass as they work here into the back stretch. Here comes Falkingham way down there to the bottom side, down here in out of corner number 2. As Falkingham now leads that front row down there on the bottom side. He's got the number 2 there. Win with him down there on the bottom side as he got that middle lane now trying to get something going. Trying to figure out who's in front there. Garrett Maines coming out down there on the bottom side now. You got Ethan Eckert there out front. Buckingham now pulls into second place down there on the bottom side as they work here off the corner. Whoa, man, hang on to it up there on the top side of the racetrack. All right, there you see Maine's out front. Here comes Eckert there in second. William Wyatt Gray out there in third. Hang on, here comes Buckingham now in fourth as they all try to figure out which lane to get around. Down there on the inside is the 10 of Christopher McAuliffe, as now he's battling back up there towards the front. Down on the bottom side, Buckingham drops down there to the middle lane. Here out of turn number 2 they go. Everybody closing in. I'm sorry, that was turn number 4 as they come down here through the chute down into the tri-oval. Buckingham leading that middle lane. You got McAuliffe down there on the inside lane and Maine's up there on the top side. Everybody tries, and here comes Maine down there to the bottom side. Not enough room there. Now Wynn takes the lead, and oh no, there we go. And they keep it together somehow. Caution is out though. Here we see him 3 wide. Bottom lane just checks up. Middle lane checks up a little bit. Bates ends up getting caught up in it as everybody scatters. Everybody keeps it straight from that point on, but caution flag did wave. Yeah, didn't you know this is iPacing, not iRacing, right? That's what we're doing tonight. We're doing iPacing. 8th caution. They've been 3 wide most of the race, Chase. It's nothing new here. They're all really aggressive, and they apparently know what's on the line more than what I know what's on the line. I just know it's money madness, and or madness money, however you want to put it. And it's definitely making you mad. I know that much. And they all come down here in the pit lane once again. Well, I get that 9th gear, and I've seen drivers in other leagues and other broadcasts I've done, believe it or not, be able to hold 4 wide in areas of Talladega. I think one race I was doing at one point in time, I don't know if I broadcast or not, but I remember watching it at least, where they had them 4 wide for an entire lap and a half. Now we're on board trying to save fuel, 16 laps to go. Dustin Johnson back here in the pits in 20th position. Not sure if he's on the lead lap or not. Depends on who you go on track, Chase. Like I said, I've seen guys do it, and it provides some exciting racing. I had a field one night. We had about 25 cars, and they were all 3 wide, front to back. Johnson looks like he's there in 15th at the moment. He comes up there through the grid. Daniel Buckingham coming there off pit road. Sitting in about 17th position right now. Garrett Maines out there on the top side. You got John Darnell down there on the inside. Lights are out side by side. We're going to go green flag racing again. This time when we hit 14 laps to go. And oh man, what a night this has been here from Talladega. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if anybody else caught that or not, but the wipers were on the pace machine. Fred's out there playing with the wiper switch. If you ain't catch that, at the end of the broadcast, go back. Fred was playing with the wipers on that pace machine. He must be getting bored as well. And you see some torn up cars there in the back. They're all checked up down there on the bottom side. Main's up there on the outside. Getting a good restart there with Wynn right behind him. Down there on the bottom side, here comes the 99 of John Darnell. Up there on the top side, you got it being Garrett, Brock, and Wynn. Garrett, Wynn, and then Eckert. Head on down through turn number 3 and 4, 3 wide once again there in about the 5th row. Now they come here off the corner, trying to figure out Buckingham, trying to find his way up through the pack. As you got him down there on the bottom side, real tight racing once again. As they got him up there on top side, here comes that 10. He's going to drop down, going to see if he can move somewhere. He's got Buckingham to move with him. As some more take that inside lane, you got the 43 there, or 45 rather. Not sure which one it is. I know it's the unmarked car. Or no, I'm sorry. No, it would be the 43 that... Wait, what the... I'm losing track of who's where and everything else. Now you got that 32 down there on the bottom side. Everybody's back up there in the top 2 lanes. Real tight quarters here as they come here off of turn number 2. Heading out onto the backstretch if I'm not flipped around here. And that looks to be I am flipped around as they come down the chute here towards the tri-oval. Eberhardt out there in front. With Wynn in second. Maines up there in third. As you drive battle it out down here in the second place. All right, down there on the bottom side, we see a lot of drivers really making some big moves, trying to find a spot somewhere. They roll down here across the stripe. They're making it 11 to go. 3 wide back there towards the back. Trying to figure out who your friend is to work with. It seems like everybody just, like they've been all race long, every man for themselves. And we see that 88 of Buckingham. He's going to roll up there and pull that gap up on that 6 machine. You have Jared Haynes. Haynes jumps to the outside. I see Eckert up there in second. Now he drops down to the middle lane. Here comes that 93, or 71 rather, of Aaron. Kyler Wynn down on the bottom side. Whoa, hang on to it as they are all over the place. Here coming through the tri-oval. Somebody's bumper comes flying off. Not sure who that is. Somebody is broke back there towards the back. Try to see if we can figure out who that is. That looks to be the 6. Try to figure out here. We got somebody. Okay, that's the 7 on the scoreboard of Cody Nagels. His bumper comes off, and he has all sorts of goofed up. And come down here through the backstretch down here. Oh, hang on to it as they are tight racing once again. Rolling up. Oh, up there to the outside. Squeezing it up there trying to make a pass on Aaron as we've got Gray up there in front. Out there in front, down on the bottom side, followed by Harper. Jared Haynes there in the 6 machine, rather the 7 down there on the bottom side. As they come down here to the stripes, 9 to go. Everybody's throwing blocks everywhere. Now they're going 4 wide down here into corner number 1. That didn't go too well. As they're still 4 wide. Chase Mastrada there in the 8 trying to get himself through there. The 18 of Wyatt Gray now missing the front bumper on that machine. As I said, I believe it's every man for himself. How about Wynn out there in front right now, down there on the bottom side. That's being pushed along and led by Nathan Harper. And the 82, Justin Johnson, right there behind him. Johnson's just pretty much been patient all race long. Hasn't really tried to push too hard. Christopher Cullip, he started it towards the back. He's now up 29 positions as he is sitting in 3rd right now. Just nobody wants to work with anybody coming down through there. Turns 1 and 2, heading out onto the backstretch. 8 laps to go. Garrett Maines out there in front in 2nd place, right behind Wynn as they all are trying to figure out where to go. Buckingham now drops down, so does Maines. Now that's going to make a push towards the front, down there on the inside. As it comes down here off the corner. Daniel Buckingham in 2nd. Chris Melton there in 3rd. They battle down on that inside lane. Hang on to it. I still feel there's going to be a big one happening here as we goes in on the end of this race. As much as these drivers are battling it out, there you see Daniel Buckingham back up there in the 2nd position. A look out, here comes the 52 of Chris Melton being pushed along by the 90. And whoa, hang on to it. Maines down there on the bottom side. He's going to let Buckingham take it up there on the top side. We got Johnson down there. 4 wide once again. Now they work on through, working it back out there. 3 wide now, there towards the back. Trying to make some moves. Maines out there getting loose. You got the 52 down there on the bottom side of Chris Melton. Everybody's still jostling for positions out here. They roll here off of 2. On board here with Jared Haynes as he's out front leading the race right now. But it's just all kind of mayhem there behind him. Everybody worked down here in the corner number 3 and 4. 3 wide here towards the back of the pack. as they all work through. Now you got Buckingham up there along with Mistrada. Mistrada and Buckingham up there on the top side. And whoa, we had drivers going around back here, it looked like. I saw smoke but didn't quite get enough of a look. And these drivers are trying their best out here, keeping it all running here as they come off the corner. Nobody really wants to work with anybody. I would see them all single file at the moment. Johnson now up there, trying to find his way towards the front, pushing on down through the bottom. Now people are looking to make a bottom lane once again, this time being led along by the 52 of Chris Melton. Now they come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. 5 laps to go. Getting a run here on the bottom side are a few of these drivers. As Buckingham's out front. Mistrada there in second. Garrett Maines fell back a little bit as he now tries to work his way back up towards the front. Buckingham back into second, 3 wide here as Mistrada now out front. Ego Clayson up towards the outside. Mistrada following, and oh no, Johnson ends up turned up into the outside wall. Caution is out. Justin Johnson ends up there across the nose of somebody. I would say all this craziness going on back here. Not sure what happened here. Johnson come up, didn't realize he wasn't clear. Come up across the nose of the 88. Ends up taking somebody out, though. Not sure who there. We'll see if we can figure it out. Who did he take out on the top side there? Comes up and hits the 32. He comes up across the nose of the 88 of Buckingham, too. See if we can take another look at this. Maybe we'll see something here that might he just comes up across the nose. We got green-white checker now. Started with 35 cars, and you can see many of them beat up. Not sure who's left on the lead lap. Man, oh man, what a crazy night this has been, folks. This is caution number 9. All right, we got Mistrada leading the race. Melton out there in second. Eberhardt here in third. Christopher McCullough here in fourth. And obviously there's something to starting in the back because a lot of these guys, Chris Melton's up 29 spots. Eberhardt's up 26 spots. McAuliffe is up 28 spots. Haynes is up 10 spots. Steven Scott back here in 9th. He's up 26 spots. So far, the biggest loser of the night seems to be Trevor Osenwald, who has dropped 25 positions. Ethan Eckert leaving pit road. I don't know, Chase. I have not a clue. Got Chris Melton down there on the inside in that 52. There you got that number 90, Daniel Eberhardt. Green, white checker to finish this one out. Ethan Eckert coming across the start-finish line, trying to get around here. Caught back up to the pack. Wyatt Gray there. We got Nathan Harper in the pits. Danny Barnes out here in the 19th spot. Garrett Maines on pit road. Buckingham sitting at about 12th. Lights are out. We're going to get green flag racing once again. All right, here they come on through the tri-oval, lined up side by side, green flag racing. Here we go. Out here in front, the number 3 of Chase Mastrada. He's up there on the outside, gets a great run here, gets in front of Chris Melton as they work down here through the inside now on through turn 1 and 2. 2 laps to go. When they come back around, they'll get the white flag, if they can make it around. And as they squeeze up the racetrack, hang on to it as Melton ends up there in the middle. Mastrada up there towards the top. Here comes McAuliffe now, working his way up. He gets shoved down and gets into the rear of Mastrada. And they come here in the turn number 3 and 4. Mastrada trying to keep a hold of that top lane. You got McAuliffe down there on the inside lane, and they come here rolling out of turn number 4. Driver's backing off quite a bit as you see that 52 drops back in line down on the bottom side. And now we've got McAuliffe trying to battle out. Now the 52 jumps up into the middle lane, thinks better of it, jumps back down into the bottom lane. Final lap. Almost anything will go now as they come here off the corner. As you see them pushing through the corner, the 52 jumps up, cannot quite get anything rolling as he tries to get somebody to go with him. Down there through the middle, now Falkingham comes up, ends up in the top lane, and Eckert now down to the bottom side. Cars weaving all over the place towards the back. And now we got Mastrada back out front there in front of Kyler Wynn as McAuliffe down there on the inside here coming off the corner, heading down towards the tri-oval. Here comes that number 3. Can't remember what he is on the scoreboard. As they all are stacking up here, trying to find out who's going to be leading it here at the end. Oh, no, they all end up wrecking there behind everybody across the line. Kenny Reel will be your winner here tonight, followed there by Chase Mastrada and Kyler Wynn. What a run there at the end from Kenny Reel to take the win. Finding out exactly where to put that car to get themselves to the front. Here's your finish results. Kenny Reel there in first. Second goes to Chase Mastrada. Kyler Wynn there in third. Brock Westmoreland there in fourth. Christopher McCullough there in fifth. Daniel Falkingham finishes tonight in sixth. Daniel Eckernhardt there in seventh. Chris Melton eighth. Michael Barksdale there in ninth. Joshua McCullough will finish 10th tonight. Stephen Scott in 11th. Jared Haynes there in 12th. Ethan Eckert 13th. Vasquez there in 14th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. there in 15th. Justin Johnson 16th. Danny Barnes there in 17th. 18th gonna be Wyatt Gray. Nathan Harper there in 19th. Garrett Maines there in 20th. Joe Hirata there in 21st. Mark Wandell in 22nd. Cody Nagels 23rd. 24th goes to John Darnell. Sean Corbett brings home 25th. Michael Wingo 26th. Jordan Tabsby there in 27th. Trevor Austinwath there in 28th. Tucker London there in 29th. Luke Freeman there 30th. 31st will be Freddie Bassanez. 32nd, Christopher Carter. Dylan Jones will bring home 33rd. Quentin Steinbach there in 34th, Asher Little in 35th, and Nick Sipe there in 36th. As Kenny Reel burns it down here on the front side. I don't know where Reel come from. Let's see if we could go back here to the final lap and just kind of break it down here, as they did a great job. We see if drivers are coming in here for post-race interviews. So here we go. This is the last lap. Keep an eye on. There's the 11. He's sitting there, fifth car back on the outside row, coming across the line here for the final lap. Now, I'm not sure what happened here in front of him, but all kind of mayhem broke loose. He jumps up here to the outside almost all by himself, then decides against it. As they work here through 1 and 2, down here at the back stretch. Almost everybody's stacking up there in the middle lane. He's going to try to use that outside lane as a get-out-of-jail type of lane, if he can, as everybody's just wobbling all over the place. Now they're 4 wide there. 2 is inside. See Kenny Reel up there on the outside. I honestly thought Mastrada had it, but looking through here as they come here off of turn number 4, working down through the front stretch. Look at the run that Reel gets on that top side. Coming through the trial, he's going to side draft Mastrada. Mastrada has nothing to do, and just by a nose, and look at that. That is a photo finish here for your top 3. See if we can get a better angle of it. Where's the finish line here? See if we can get a picture of the finish. Come on. Where is... Oh, that didn't work. I was trying to see if we can get one across the line, but we're going to go ahead and get with our winners here, starting with Kyler Wynn, our third place. Good evening there, Kyler. How's it going?
How's it going, brother?
Well, long night here.
Long night, yeah. We had a lot of yellows. I mean, it's just the kind of racing this car produces, I think, with how big are the runs you get, and the bumper hook. So I think that's a product of why we get so much yellows in this car. If the bumper hook was fixed, I think it'd be a little more tame and raceable. But we had a good green flag run there to the end, minus a checkered. I enjoyed that. Played the race pretty well. Stayed up front. Stayed out of the wrecks. So there's that.
You did a pretty good job staying out of the wrecks. I mean, it's a good run to the line there.
Yeah. I was committed to Chase. Chase, I guess he thought I was going to make a move on him. I just talked to him here. He didn't really trust me. So I think had we just stayed high there, we would have had it. But, I can't complain. It was like a $10 difference between the top three. So third place still played pretty good. I'm not too worried about it. Can't win them all.
All righty, well, you had a great run tonight. You got sponsors and shout-outs you want to thank for helping you get on the podium tonight in this Memorial Day special.
Yeah, just factory sets on the car. And you for broadcasting. Thank you for taking your time out of your Memorial Monday here to do this. Appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure to do it. I really enjoyed it. You guys put on a show where you could. And
yeah, thank you.
You enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day.
Yep, I'm Canadian, so it's not a thing up here, but thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll get with Chase here. Good evening, Chase. How's it going?
It could be better. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You had a great run there towards the line, but unfortunately kind of got beat out there on the top side.
Yeah, like Collar said, I didn't trust him as far as I could throw him, and I figured he was going to make a move, so I was watching him the whole way. Didn't see Kenny coming anywhere, or I would have thrown a crazy block on him.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody saw Kenny coming.
Nah, he just came out of nowhere. That was an incredible finish.
I mean, that last lap, he was sitting five cars back on the outside lane.
Yeah, that last restart, I was really worried. I felt like a sitting duck being up there in first place, but it worked out until not even the last second, less than a second.
I mean, you couldn't ask for more of a photo finish there between the top three.
Nah, it was fun racing. Unfortunately, I turned Kyler. Like, he was talking about that bumper hook. I did the bumper hook on Kyler from the lead early in the race. I'm sure y'all saw it. And there's nothing you can do about that in this car, and that's just the kind of racing we get. A bunch of yellows. People don't really understand how to take the runs in this car, so it's a product of racing, really.
I mean, it's normal Talladega from my standpoint.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Wish we could probably get a little more 3 wide in this car, but that side draft is crazy. That top lane just dominates. The bottom will get a run, but then you can just jump down and block it, and you're golden.
I mean, it looked like you guys really had to pay attention to your surroundings tonight, really have to pay attention to how fast cars are checking up, and that seemed to be part of the problem was sometimes that top lane would start checking up, and it just bottleneck everybody, and then eventually somebody would end up going around.
Yeah, so if the pusher doesn't cycle or the leader doesn't cycle down, those temps get hot on that top lane, and you can't really do much about it.
Well, who's your sponsors and shout-outs you want to give for helping you get up there in the second place tonight?
Shout out to Jack Shack boys, all the Nightmare boys. Pretty much it. Appreciate you coming out here doing the stream tonight.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes, sir.
So, congrats. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Winnings for
fucking crazy, Kenny.
race 2.
Good evening here, Kenny. Oh, man, sorry about that, folks. I'm getting things moved around here. Kenny, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. What a finish tonight for you.
Yeah, it was a pretty rocky race. I'll take the ending though. It was a nice little finish. I can't complain about getting to the end there and getting a P1. So yeah, we ended up getting it done.
Yeah, not much of a separation between you and Mastrada, and it seems like even everybody that was watching us here in the booth, we didn't know where you come from. We saw that you started about 5 cars back on the last lap, and then just out of nowhere, you were up there in front coming across the line.
Yeah, basically from the beginning of the race, probably like 10 so laps in the race, got into a wreck and had a little over probably almost 9 minutes of damage. Got it fixed and pretty much just wanted to ride in the back till 10, 15 laps left in the race, just in case there was a wreck. I didn't get more damage late in the race because it's harder to fix the damage later in the race than it is with the whole race ahead of you, like I did earlier. And then there we got that. Luckily, the caution came out because I got passed underneath the yellow, almost got turned, got away from the pack. The yellow comes out and end up starting on the bottom, which bottom in these cars is if someone gets on your door, you're not going to go anywhere. So I got up to the top and just rode there to the last lap till everybody started making moves. And luckily, out of turn 4, the car in front of me went down to the middle, and the 2 cars that were in front of him on the top kind of went down in front of him, and top lane just open, and I had a teammate behind me, and we just had a bunch of momentum coming off the corner, getting a big old draft, and was able to get to both our quarter panels and barely squeak it out then. So can't complain with the 1-2 finish there with one of my teammates, and Kyler's usually always in the money. Tyler's really good at super speedways, so I'm surprised he didn't make a move when he seen me coming on the outside, or my teammate didn't make a move to jump up either. So, but yeah, all around a good night.
He jumped down to the bottom side when you jumped to the outside. So.
Yeah, pretty much there at the end. He knew he had at least the top three placements, so he's just really just sticking it out of line, see if he can make up a position or two, and at the end. Pretty much, once you know you're in the money, you just want to race it out to the line, and that's what we all did. And luckily, the end there we didn't all wad it up like the race was pretty much caution filled, because these cars, you get such big runs, and people don't know how to manage the runs right, and it just turns into a caution fest. But luckily, there at the end, everybody rode it out clean to the line.
Yeah, it was definitely a great run there for you. And you got sponsors and shout outs you want to give here on this Memorial Day for helping you get up there and getting the victory tonight.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the people in a uniform. I got a couple of buddies that have been retired, that are still in active military. Just want to give them guys a shout out for what they do for everybody here at home. I want to give a shout out to all my teammates over at the Jack Shack. Those guys, we've been on a road here lately, so they help me out, and we help each other out all the race, whether we're laps down or not. And I want to give a huge shout out to my spotter, Daryl. Can't do it without him every race. And just give a shout out to the guys that put these races on, and you for the broadcast.
My pleasure tonight. It was an honor to be here this Memorial Day and watching you guys take this one the distance. And quite the distance it was.
Yeah.
9 cautions later, we finally bring it across the finish line with you bringing it in the victory lane. So you have to be feeling pretty good there.
Yeah. It's better to, I'll tell you what, the feeling's better to cross that line first than anywhere else, and especially at least have a clean car doing it.
Alrighty. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day, and we'll see what races we have going in the future here on the poll.
Appreciate it, brother. You have a good one.
So that was Kenny Reel, our winner here tonight. Again, we're unsure where he came from. I mean, we saw the moves there on the final lap. As we heard, that outside lane, and these cars just side draft so well on these corners. Side draft just so well. He had the run coming out of 4, got to the outside, and just was able to lay it down. And got the win here tonight. And as he said, we can't thank enough for the people that are in uniform day in and day out, giving us the freedoms we have here in the States. So definitely, I know we call it Memorial Day. Other places might call it Remembrance Day. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see what more races we can do as we sign it off here. Kenny Reel, your winner here tonight, getting it done here at Talladega in the Arca Menards machine.
feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want